Can you drive from Alaska to Russia? What if I told you that Russia is only about 50 miles from the United States? Sounds crazy, right? But it's actually true. Alaska and Russia are separated by the Bering Strait, and at their closest points, they are surprisingly close to each other. So here's the question. Can you actually drive from Alaska to Russia? The answer is not as simple as you might think. Alaska is connected to the rest of the United States by land, and you can drive through Alaska on highways. But when you reach the western edge of Alaska, the road doesn't continue into Russia. Instead, you reach the Bering Strait. And this is where things get interesting. Right in the middle of the Bering Strait are two tiny islands. The larger one is called Big Diomede, and it belongs to Russia. The smaller one is Little Diomede, and it belongs to the United States. They are only about 2.5 miles apart. That means you can actually stand on an American island and look toward Russia. But there's a major problem. There is no highway connecting the two countries. You can't simply drive your car across the water, and even though parts of the Bering Strait can freeze during winter, that doesn't turn the ice into a safe road. The sea ice can move, crack, and break apart, so driving across it would be extremely dangerous. There's also an international border between the United States and Russia, so even if you could physically cross the distance, you couldn't simply drive across and enter Russia like you were crossing from one American state into another. But here's the craziest part. Big Diomede and Little Diomede are incredibly close, yet they can have different calendar dates. That's because the international date line passes between them. So even though the islands are only a few miles apart, one is often called Tomorrow Island and the other Yesterday Island. Imagine looking across the water and seeing tomorrow. That's what makes this one of the strangest places on the planet. So, can you drive from Alaska to Russia? Not directly. There's no highway, no bridge, and no normal road connecting the United States and Russia across the Bering Strait. You can get incredibly close, but crossing the border requires a legal international route. And that tiny gap between Alaska and Russia proves something fascinating. Sometimes two countries can be incredibly close on a map, but still be worlds apart. Would you ever take a road trip to the closest point between America and Russia?